In the 90s, Playmates Toys made the deepest line of Star Trek action figures in history. My name's Keith, and I'm a collector working towards owning all 284. I've been a Trek fan for almost 35 years, and most people are sick of me talking about it. But somehow I've convinced my old friend Mike to review them with me on Look at My Star Trek Toys! Wait for the whoosh! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Look at My Star Trek Toys. Today, no, my Star Trek Toys. Actually, today it's your Star Trek Toys. In fact, today it's going to be a really fun episode because it's kind of a grab bag. We normally, do this on themes, right? We do custom figures, we do play sets, we do, the Playmates figures, we do other figures, we do only Klingons. Well, today is sort of stuff that's been just sitting in my email waiting for a home. And I figured, you know what? Let's just all put it all together in a beautiful grab bag of interesting and creative stuff. Stuff that is Star Trek and custom related. I'm really excited to talk about it. How's it going, Mike?
It's going great, Keith, but I don't want to talk about you right now. I want to carve out a space to tell everybody out there, you see, there's a lot of pre-work that goes into this stuff, but of all the shows we do, and we do quite a bit, you can check all of them out here on the channel. We talk about Star Trek, all kinds of stuff, and I got ideas for more stuff, but that's another show altogether. We're doing a live stream tomorrow.
No more
today,
shows.
The day this airs, we're doing so much stuff. Anyway, the easiest one for me is this one, because I just show up, I press record, and I go along for the ride. We used to beam it in. We used to do a whole bunch of stuff that I'm like, nah, we're not doing any of that anymore. But Keith, of all the shows, he's got to sort through his email. He's got to package them into little motifs. He's got to do all the graphic arts. He's got to upload them to me. He's got to then tell me how he wants it to look because, I don't have the eye Keith's got. So let's take a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Varney, everybody.
I really appreciate you doing that on the most streamlined of all possible episodes.
He's always pulling his hair out a little bit for y'all, and we want to thank everybody for tuning in and for sending your customs.
Back. I'm just pulling out the ones in the front, apparently.
A few you can find.
I should start pulling from all the locations, not just the front.
Welcome to Trichotillomania, the podcast.
Wow, there it is. You had that lined up.
Yeah,
good
I don't
for
know
you.
how.
Okay, well,
I watch a lot of TLC.
A lot of TLC.
Yeah.
That explains so much. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us here on K&M Entertainment. And if you would like, not sure why you'd want to at this point in the show, but if you would like to support us, you can do so at patreon.com/K&M and get more bonus shows and a whole bunch of other nonsense. Mike, who's doing that and what are they getting?
Oh, Keith, we got Brian Kipper, Beer Sock, Wyatt Eldridge, Casey Clark, Jason Mopren, Joshua, Andrew Hayes, Jorge Novoa, and the Mysterious Wolves, Boot Shivs, Charles Babbage, Richard Coleman, CRM Productions, Nikolai Ivanovich, Lobachevsky, Delusions at Noon, John Cullendagan, JD Biggs, Chris Mitchell, CRM, Pat, Joshua Cronin, all in one breath, just like Mamie Paris singing The End of Memory. That's a deep cut strictly for CEO Jen, who doesn't even watch the show, and they get all kinds of nonsense just like you do here on the channel, but even more so, plus an RSS feed of all the shows we put on the podcast, so you can download it all in one spot. Keith, join the team, help be a producer on the show, patreon.com/K and M.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, I think with no further ado, because we've already had a lot of doo-doo so far, let us start talking about some of the stuff that has just been percolating in my email. Maybe that's the theme. The theme is stuff that's been percolating in lookatmystartrektoys@gmail.com, which is where you can send your custom figures, your play sets, your whatever the heck you got, because it's kind of fun as it branches out into new cool creativity. We got an Android phone a couple weeks ago. Love that.
Yeah, Board Cube, check that out. That was cool.
There you go. So look at my Star Trek toys
tomorrow. I'm bringing it to a party today, Keith.
You're bringing my cube.
No,
get it all sandy at your stupid beach.
All right, it's very nicely packaged back in its box on the shelf waiting for Keith Varney.
It's going to go and on my shelf behind me. Very excited to talk about it. All right. So our first thing that we're going to look at today has been submitted by our good friend Colin Dagan, and it is more work by 3D Trekker, a small business creating 3D custom models designed specifically for the Star Trek Playmates line, and this is their original series engineering playset, which they have 3D printed the whole thing. Actually, you know what? Before we get too far into it, throw up those pictures of the actual set from the original series,
cool.
so you can get a sense of what you are looking at in comparison to the extraordinary work
That's very
that
cool.
3D Trekker did. So this is what it looked like on screen in the 60s on the original series. Now let's go back to that picture from 3D Trekker. You can get this set on eBay right this very minute and check it out. But look at that. My goodness.
That's cool.
Like it's...
The scale is very cool too. We always comment on the great photography, which is kind of some of the fun of this. But look, even the little doodads move. I dare say it's almost a little more impressive than the set on the original series.
Well, I mean, look, you're dealing with 60s technology and 60s budget, and so they couldn't have the elaborate engineering set that we see later. Once you hit that like next gen engineering set, you're like, oh my goodness.
I wonder what's behind the lattice there. Like, what's behind that to give it that depth? Are we going to see?
Well, keep going.
All right, well, I was waiting for you to tell me when to pop over.
All right. Well, we're going to pip and pop to the next picture there so we can see more. It is a double-decker set with the ladder going up there with the dilithium crystal bot in the middle there, which lifts up and down. It's pretty cool. Keep going, buddy. So there you can see Scotty with the dilithium crystals. That the thing right in front of him raises and lowers as you put the crystals into the chamber there. Look at the size. That is a huge playset.
That's really cool.
Really cool. And I think just a really getting photorealistic with the actual set.
So the sort of, they actually did the special effect, the visual effect for you. They put the little scrim behind the lattice to give it that depth. That's cool.
Right, which is exactly what it was. It was a matte painting behind a little
and
grid
it must
there.
be on some sort of a glossy plastic because
It's got a
cool
floor
reflective.
to it.
Yeah,
a reflective floor to it to put it all together. And I think we have a picture of it as it pulled apart as it comes. Maybe I didn't put that in there. Nope. No. Go back. Oh God. So I didn't. So never mind. But this is available on
I'm sure that's
eBay
available on eBay. Yep.
from 3D Trekker. Definitely check out their fantastic work. Do a lot of original series stuff, which is Colin's jam, which is why he sent it. So incredible set. This is obviously I say commercially produced in quotation marks. It's a small business, 3D printing this stuff. This is a fan. This is not it's not Hasbro putting this out. It's at a much higher quality and and a higher price point, obviously. But it is available.
Well,
we'll put the link
I've been
down
thinking
below.
about it. I've been watching some YouTubes, Keith, because believe it or not, I mentioned I was at Micro Center a few weeks ago, and the cost of 3D printers has come way down. And so I've been YouTubing a bunch of what can you do with it? Yes, you can do all this kind of cool stuff, but I'm trying basically in the back of my brain.
You're trying to justify purchasing a 3D printer.
And not even I can do that for my whatever use case I would have. But that's not the point of this diatribe. The point is even the sort of you've got the the just strictly consumer, really quote unquote cheap ones, and then you got the kind of prosumer, and then even another level up. They're all incredibly slow. Right? There's no super speed way to do this. It's not like you get a great beefy graphics card and you can really render your videos really fast. It's not. They're all really pretty slow. So even at this level where you're selling these things, it's still a huge time commitment, which is why I think the price points have to sit where they are because you can't just mass produce them.
And expensive. I mean, the design work, the CAD work that had to be done in order to make this be so spot on, to be so dead on, both with the scale and all the details.
And I would imagine, and I don't know this, someone write in who does the work clearly and let us know. I imagine there is a higher fail rate than is probably financially acceptable. You know what I mean? When you're printing these things at even semi-scale. Yeah.
I have no idea.
If your cat bumps the table and the goo moves, I don't think it's...
Well, I certainly, the cat of it all is something we are both very familiar with. All right, so that is the engineering playset. Really fantastic work. Thanks, Colin, for sending that in. Hey, 3D Trekker, you want to send us some stuff? Yeah, we'll happily review it. All right, so next up, we're going from a 3D printed playset to some fantastic photography of these figures from at Grimm Toys, from Ben at Grimm Toys. And this is using the Playmates. It's basically just the Playmates figures in the Playmates bridge set, but all of a sudden with the phenomenal photography, it's like a movie. All of a sudden it becomes perfect. It's just extraordinary photography from Ben. Always comes in with really cool stuff, and I think this is the best either the figures and that playset has ever looked. Like if I were Playmates selling this playset back in the day, I would go back and have these pictures taken, and that's how I would sell it, because it looks...
You know, the toys often in their visual design like super saturate the boxes, and they want to have all the colors pop because they're trying to jump off the shelves like cereal boxes. However, here we're getting a bit more of a realistic white balance. We're getting a great shallow depth of field. You're getting incredible kind of reflections off that matte paint. I mean, it's just really, like you said, it's really stellar. You know, Worf's back there wharfing, but right now that focus is drawn directly to Jean-Luc, and we're loving it.
Right. So, of course, I mean, it's just, well, I mean, you know, obviously it is amazing what you can do with professional photography. Mm-hmm. And you know, just like getting headshots for ourselves, right? You know, a good professional photographer with a good light setup and a good camera can make us look less like ogres.
Oh yeah, my headshot really baffles me. It makes me look like such a silver fox, and I'm like, yeah, look at that dude. That is, that is a version of me for sure.
I just want to sit with that whole scene, with that little monologue there. I do not look like a silver fox. I still look like an ogre. I just have better lighting. But nonetheless, really, really, really cool. Great picture. And we have another one from Grimm Toys. This one's really cool. So this is a Dixon Hill story going on here with some props built in with the with the gun and the desk and everything. But like, look at the lamp.
So cool. I almost wish we could light a couple votives and put them under behind them and kind of get just a little bit of haze coming up for that noir look.
Oh yeah, we could throw some smog in there, but it's such a good photograph. I mean, honestly, Ben, I think you should send these to Playmates, because I bet they would love to have this on their Instagram, even if it's like throwbacks, where you can really
they do a thing on Fridays. They do like Fan Fridays, where I think they post a bunch of like fan pics, if I'm not mistaken.
I bet they'd be psyched to see these, because playing with scale and playing with angles and lighting, and obviously going full noir black and white here.
He was even able to capture the sort of the sight lines where you can tell where he's looking. The whole scene is really telling a story. It's good photography, like we said.
It's great photography, and like, you know, this is a good one. Like that go up on your wall. That's suitable for framing, folks.
As a matter of fact, that's really cool. I love miniature photography. It's I don't know. I have a couple of pictures of people this artist, I can't remember the artist's name, unfortunately. They used to sell all the time on those, on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, they do those craft fairs on Sundays. And this artist would always go and they do photography up. They had these little miniatures. Oh boy, my nephew's calling. He's going to call 1,000 times. And they position these little miniatures on instruments. So they'd have like these little like iron workers working on guitar tuners and different things. And I have a bunch of those I really appreciate. Stop calling me. Oh, this is going to be, I gotta go to Do Not Disturb.
How old is your nephew?
He's 6. So Amazing. We're going to get inundated right now. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I think we should maybe get him on the air, see what he has to say.
No. It's my sister's 40th birthday today, so we're going to have a party, and there's last minute preparations. And I did try to remind her that you're 40 now, so that's like the official age of no one cares. So,
well, no. We care very much at 40. 41 is when we stop caring.
That's true. You do have 365 days of somewhat caring left.
Yeah, well, there you go. Anyway, Ben, keep sending these.
Yeah, please do.
These are phenomenal, and I really like looking at them. I really like sharing them. And if you want to send your cool pictures you have taken with the Star Trek figures, you can do so at lookatmystartrektoys@gmail.com. Like we said before, really cool stuff. So next up, because we're grab bagging, we're looking at all sorts of different stuff.
Ben, last thing, Ben, it popped in my head. I mean, like, coffee table book. This is begging for it.
Oh my God, yes.
Right? Yeah.
I wonder what the...
I'll write the forward. Keep whether, write the forward.
Absolutely. I will. I wonder whether there would be licensing issues.
Yeah, we could sell. No, come on. He owns all the stuff.
Not. Yeah. Well, just because it's Playmates. No, you know what? Coffee
and it's
table
your artwork,
book.
Right? You're doing your own artwork.
100%. Absolutely do a coffee table book. I would buy that in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. And it's really easy to self-publish on Amazon. I do it all the time. All right. So, good idea. Yeah, really good idea.
I just want a free copy now.
I mean, the only reason we do this show is for free stuff. It's literally the only purpose of this entire show. Uh-huh. All right. So next up, we're going to change media once again. Because we are continuing to change media, and we are going to look at some 3D modeling wire design from our friend Sean Mulhall, who has done a 3D modeling of the USS Shepherd. And this is all he, I believe, did all of this by hand, modeling out this ship. I think the plan is to eventually start to 3D print, but full-on 3D modeling the USS Shepherd, which is, if you think, and I believe it was probably done on an iPad, which or it's
this is so far beyond my technical even comprehension, let alone capability, that I couldn't even tell you.
Can you imagine like the talent it takes to 3D model something like this? Oof. I mean, obviously neither one of us we appreciate. We can't do. It's like if you can't do, teach. We can't do appreciate. But so this is a fully 3D modeled ship that he built here, which is really, really cool. And it's a cool ship design with the 3 nacelles. I believe that there is canonically a Shepherd, but I don't know. I looked online to see if I could find an example of it. This might be a custom Sean design, and if it is, it's phenomenal.
Very cool.
Super, super cool. And Sean did not just stop with the ship. He built the bridge out as well. Oh, here's another angle of the ship, and you see the shuttle bay in the back there. If it, kind of poops out shuttles. And here is the bridge design as well. Talk about like having to 3D render, get the scale right, get the view screen, and in fact even has a turbo shaft there. I'm assuming that's what that is. Just like incredible amounts of work and talent it takes to do something like that. It's even got a pad on the captain's chair.
Sean, I hope you keep emailing Keith. I want to see what's the iteration, right? So what's step 2 once you've kind of spec'd this? Do you print a prototype, or do you kind of model it out, or do you what happens next?
I don't know, but it's fascinating. Yeah, please do write in. And let us know. Yeah, let us know what's next with this, because it's really, really, really cool. And just takes a type of talent that neither one of us will ever have.
Did you have that class in school, like mechanical drawing or whatnot, where they give you the what do you call it, the protractor or the
protractor
thing the pencil and the thing, and you do the circles, and it's so hyper specific that I was so terrible at it. Oh God, it gave me.
I think they had it as an elective. Mm-hmm. But I just took 17 different choruses, which should surprise nobody. Jazz band. I was just like, I can sing the highest of anyone.
I'll never forget getting called in and being like, Mike, your history teachers told us that this semester you've You've gone to 15 jazz band pullouts, which is like when you have to skip class to go for a rehearsal or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't, in the jazz band, Keith.
That sounds exactly right. You were in a ska band.
That was my senior year of high school. Was just like going to rehearsals that didn't exist. And
yeah, well, you were like, Excelsior 24 of Criminal or whatever it was.
All right, what do we got next, buddy? Great job, Sean.
Right. Hey, check out Mike's ska band, SpaceX Mafia, Space 8 Mafia, right?
You always get there, and I'm always blown away that you remember.
Oh, there it is. Is that even available on YouTube?
No, I don't think so. Maybe I think there are some live things like
your album should be up on YouTube.
There's physical media out there. Every once in a while I'll run into it at I used to run into it like a Sam Goody or whatnot, but it's hard to find these days.
Get it up there so people can listen.
Okay.
So next up, I know Mike's like, move on. All right. So next up is something super, super cool that we got from our good friend JD, who don't show it until I set it up. So a while back, our amazing friend Chris Mitchell at CRM Customs built custom figures of Mike and I, and we have a whole episode all about it. You can go back into our feed. If I'm a professional person, I will put the link in below. But chances are there's not going to happen. But
it's not going to happen.
So we got these amazing figures, but they didn't come with a box, right? They didn't come with a design. But out of nowhere, out of the goodness of his heart and with the talent of his Photoshop work, JD stepped in and designed the boxes for us. And I want to show you that now. Boom! Look at that. From the Warp Factor, he based it on the Playmates Warp Factor box and designed it all out specifically for us. So it's phenomenal. We sent him pictures of the figure itself. It's so cool. So I got to be captain, and I'm the mostest host jingle wrangler. That is my title.
I think.
And look at this.
Can I blow it up big enough? Yeah, I'm gonna I gotta do one of our readings.
Zooms on the fly.
Keith Varney has written book, music, and lyrics. What?
That's just an old bio.
Oh, I thought it was like he did it in his voice.
I think he pulled that from my website.
Oh, Keith, just like you talked about my ska band, Keith got the blush going.
It's like an old bio.
I love that it shows the other characters in the line. It's got me. I'm also captain. I love that.
Captain.
And then also Captain JD Diller, which is cool. He made himself. It's super cool.
And I think Chris made him a figure too.
Amazing. Look, he comes with podcast mic, L88 synthesizer, eyewear, and fancy shot glasses. Very cool.
Fancy shot glasses. That is an inside joke for those of you who have been watching the show for a very long time. The fancy shot glasses, for sure. And he's got like the Look at My Star Trek Toys logo with the line there.
It's so great. It's so great. I bought the cardboard and I have the printer all set to do it. I just haven't, I'm afraid that the cardboard's too thick to like print it. So there's gotta be another way to do it. He actually told me, I think he was like, do it on paper and then put it on the cardboard and then cut it with an X-Acto. So I might try that for us.
And you want to know what's super cool?
What's that, Keith?
The QR code, it works. It takes you to the JD Makes YouTube page.
Amazing.
Which
also,
of course
check out JD did
below.
us. We made a joke in our Look at My Star Trek Toys or Strange New Show. Strange New Show. We watched Strange New Worlds. We made a Trump joke about grab them by the Zorps, and JD within an hour made a T-shirt. We both bought them, and I get so many comments on that shirt when I'm out and about.
The comment I went, and this is a reflection on what I said, not that Jillian's like, I don't even want to see that. It's so upsetting.
Oh boy. All right. Well, Keith, where there's a Keith, apparently there's always
a Mike. Talent extraordinaire, geek of the week. And look at it. Now I have to do the wait, it gave you a height and weight. Go back. Does mine have a height and weight? Was I right?
Where's the height and weight located?
It's on your bio.
No, it does not list your height and weight, buddy.
Thank God.
He did you a solid.
Now move your head.
Man, he gave my orgy. My orgy. Why did I say that? I meant to say age, but said orgy. I think I combined age and origin. Okay.
Wow. I don't know what I don't want to spend any more time in your head than I have to. All right. So the USS Enterprise, NCC 1701D, Starfleet Database Captain Mike Indaglio, age 40, now 40 plus, planet Earth, height 170 centimeters, weight 70 kilograms. Michael Indaglio was an actor, singer, musician, all-around creative guy attempting to stay afloat in New York City. Experience in national, regional, and international theater. Enjoys telling stories in whatever way the universe allows the time. Superpowers are empathic interpersonal communication with other humanoid species. Enjoys an impact developing ways, making an impact developing ways to help people see things in a new way. Union member, Actors Equity.
That is awesome.
That is, and you also get a podcast mic, a ball cap, of course, a dilithium shiv,
necessary,
and a cell phone.
JD,
the intergalactic choking hazards.
This was awesome when you sent it to us, but for some reason, time has made it even more amazing, and I'm so glad to revisit it because it just warms my heart.
So you have to actually print the cardboard. Let me peek behind the curtain. Working with Mike. Mike, gotta print these things. What do I need? Get these things. Okay, great. You got them? Yep.
Yeah.
You gonna print it?
I'm not like big. We talk about it all the time. I'm just not big into arts and crafts. Like the idea. Yeah, I got the stuff. I just have to do it, like print it and then like cut. And I'm very bad at that. I have some triggers about like I don't want to mess it up. But I'd rather you come over, buddy. Let's do it together. Make a project. Come on, let's play.
Okay. Well, we'll have to get a couple of the warp factors. So we can get the bubble and put the figures inside.
I've got it. I've got the bubble plastic. I've got the cardboard. I've got the stuff.
You got the bubble plastic? Where'd you get the bubble plastic?
Amazon, man.
You've already got it? Oh,
I got it. It's in the closet somewhere.
You're all right, fine. Well, thank you once again.
Come over to the Murder Shack. We'll do.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be great. Arts and crafts with Keith and Mike. All right. Well, thank you once again, JD, and thank you everybody for sending in all of this fantastic work. This has been a delightful grab bag, at least in my opinion. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, you can check out our other shows. Keith and Mike watch Deep Space Nine, Strange New Show. Keith and Mike watch Strange New Worlds, and K&M Geekly, where we talk about geeky things every week. If you haven't already, give us a like, give us a subscribe. It really helps the YouTube algorithm find more people to enjoy this nonsense. We will be back next week with another fantastic episode of Custom Stuff. Maybe an all Voyager episode? Who knows? Maybe gonna be exciting. So you can reach us at lookatmystartrektoys@gmail.com while Mike desperately, even got keyed out. Nice. Lookatmystartrektoys@gmail.com. Till then, can the figure do the salute?
Not going well.
This never goes well. I'm so sorry to everybody watching this. Till then, this has been Look at My Star Trek Toys!